Well, hey everybody, it's Katie again with another Live and Learn. It is Thursday, so these are our Live and Learn days. This is where we learn a little bit from our awesome entrepreneurial mamas who have some tips and tricks and skills and all of that kind of good stuff to share with us. So today we have my favorite chiropractor, Dr. Bobbie.
Hello.
How are you today?
Doing great, thank you. So glad to be here.
Yes, awesome to see you. So tell us just a little bit I know about you. So tell the audience that might not know who you are, just a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So my name is Dr. Bennett and I own BodyWise Chiropractic. My office is located in Tempe, Arizona, and I've been in practice since 2006. However, I started my own company in the end of 2007 when I moved to Arizona. So we've been in Tempe, a couple different locations. We landed in our current location about 8 years ago. We absolutely love it. In our office, we have myself and another chiropractor, Dr. Bond. She joined us this past year, and it's been awesome having her. In addition, we have three massage therapists, and we've got a personal trainer and a stretch therapist that all share space with us. So we've got a really nice referral network between all of us to provide really great preventative care, and then also treat, a lot of different things, which we'll kind of get into later on during our talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you've been doing this for a little while. So since you said 2006.
Yeah. So I graduated at the end of 2005. So I am 15 years into practice, which is crazy to me. Doesn't seem possible how time flies.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Same thing.
but yeah, it's so much fun. I just absolutely love it, which is probably why it's gone so fast.
Yeah, and same thing here. It's time flies when you're having fun, right? I've been in my industry for about 15 years also. Sorry for the frog in my throat, people. Inopportune moment, froggy. But so over the years, I'm sure there's lots that you love about your practice and lots that you love about what you do. But over the years, have you developed any particular passions, or is there anything specific about what you do that you love? That kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when we train in chiropractic school, they give us a really great overview of obviously adjusting, and they give us little snippets of, different specialties that you can kind of get involved in. And then it's up to us, once we're licensed, to kind of seek out additional training to, become experts in those areas. And so there are a few things that I decided to get involved with. One of them I kind of fell into by accident. And that's my prenatal care practice. I learned a little bit about it in school. And the first job I took out of school, I worked for 2 years in a clinic out in Boston, actually. And I replaced a doctor who had done a lot of prenatal care. And I got there on day one, and my first patient was 38 weeks pregnant. And I kind of froze because I didn't feel prepared to treat that stage of pregnancy because of, my training. And so we got through it, which was great. And I ended up really falling in love with that type of practice. And so I found some courses, and I went through an entire certification program through the ICPA, which is the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. And so I got my specialty certification in prenatal care and pediatric care. So that kind of sent me off in that direction. And I really started enjoying working with that population. So when I moved to Arizona and started my practice, I knew that was going to be a big part of it. And then the other thing that I really wanted to do to set myself apart was to get more involved with soft tissue techniques, different types of stretching, rehabilitation, just because the adjustment is so important, but it's what we do around the adjustment that is equally important. And so I see patients for a small snippet of time, and it's really important for me to give them information and educate them on things that they can do when they're at home, because they're at home a lot more than they're in my office. So that's something else that we really emphasize. Almost everyone, their first visit in our office involves not only a treatment, but they're getting some kind of instruction, whether it's some stretches to take home. We have emails that we send with videos. My CA, Lori, is awesome at making sure that she follows up with all the patients and making sure that they have their at-home stuff all kind of clear. And, we talk about foam rollers, and we talk about using different sizes of balls to work on tight muscles, whether it's in your lower back, whether it's in your neck, your shoulders. And by incorporating all that in with our practice, we really see results so much faster than if we were just adjusting. So those are kind of two areas that we've really kind of, focused on. And then the other thing I did do back about, gosh, I'm trying to think, I think it was 2014, I got my degree. I went back and I took some classes in medical acupuncture as well, because it was something I was sending patients out for, especially some of my pregnant patients who were ready to have their baby. There are particular points you can do some needles, and it helps to sometimes get the body started on that induction process. And so I decided to go back and get a certification in medical acupuncture. So that's something else that I do as well.
Wow, that is super cool. And you're also a mom yourself. So lots of stuff going on over there.
Yes, very busy.
So being a mama and knowing that we're speaking to a bunch of mamas right now, I know, because you have taught me some, simple stretches and different things. I never realized how important it is to stretch. And you had mentioned, just now it's important in chiropractic care, and I'm sure, important in overall health. So do you have any real quick, easy stretching techniques or tips or ideas that you typically share with your mamas?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that I see, and it sometimes is, during pregnancy, just because of some of the changes, but one of the stretches I show a lot is a postpartum stretch, because we go from walking around with extra weight in our midsection, right, which is kind of pulling our lower back forward, and it creates some lower back pain. And so there's some really gentle stretches that we can do to kind of open up the fronts of the hips, like a hill climber stretch. And I know that my Facebook page is listed in the comments. We're going to be posting some videos in the coming days. Tomorrow we're going to go through, but after we get off of here, I'm actually going to post some photos on there that I've already taken. They were things that I'd posted before, but I'm going to show what some of those stretches look like on our Facebook page. So definitely check that out.
Oh, awesome.
But once we get to that postpartum time, what I find is these moms are now holding a baby, they're nursing, they're feeding, they're burping, they're sleeping in chairs. And so we start to see that lower back pain kind of move up. And now it's that middle back, upper back area, kind of right where your back gets round, right above that old bra strap area, right? And so what we focus on is opening up here. Okay. And so part of this is stretching, but part of it is actually breathing, because what most people don't realize is we start breathing into our chest instead of into our belly. Okay. And it's not something that we're purposely doing. It's just, we're not thinking about it. And when we're doing a million other things, our breath becomes more shallow, and now we're chest breathing. When we chest breathe, what happens is these muscles here get really tight, and it tightens everything up around your neck. So what we want to do is not only open up our chest and sit up taller, but we want to then get that air down all the way into our diaphragm, which is basically where your belly is. So I'll teach breathing where we're breathing in through our nose, we're holding the breath in, and then we're exhaling. Now, what you want to do is you want to exhale twice as long as your inhale. This is a really good way to kind of calm down your body as well. If you feel like you're having that kind of like anxious morning, right? Running around, being crazy, trying to get ready to get out the door. Sometimes getting in the car and sitting there and taking 30 seconds to just open up. So what I suggest is you sit down and you're going to have your hands palm up on your knees. My shoulders are nice and open. I'm sitting up really tall up on my sit bones. And then you can close your eyes if you want to, but you're going to inhale in through your nose. And you want this to be about 6 seconds or so. And then you're going to hold that breath. And then when you exhale, you want that exhale to be longer. And you want to really push that out until you feel like you can't press anymore, and then add 2 seconds. Because what happens when you exhale all of that air out, now you have room to breathe in, right? And so now that next breath is going to be so much deeper because you've got more room in your lungs. So that's a really nice way to kind of reset your body, but it also, we get ourselves in this position first. And so we're teaching ourselves good posture, right? And so opening everything up here, sitting up nice and tall, and then taking that deep breath in and holding it, slowly exhaling. So that's something that anybody can do at any time during the day, right? You just need 30 seconds to go check out in the corner and do this, right?
Yeah.
And sit in your car, like I said, is great. Or, go sit in a quiet room, go to the bathroom, right? Yes.
Where many moms lock themselves.
Absolutely. It's the best place to be alone.
I love that though, because, and I've heard that a whole bunch, throughout life. A very easy way to calm down is to just slow your breathing down and take really deep breaths, because it kind of triggers your body's natural sense of either you're relaxed or something's trying to kill you, right? According to your body.
Right.
So,
yes. Yeah.
So if you're telling your body, hey, no, this is relaxed state, then, I feel so much better just doing that with you, to be honest.
Right. Well, and what it does too, so your nervous system, when we get into this kind of anxious mode, it's our sympathetic nervous system. It's your go, 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 right? That's your, I can lift a car off of, like something, if there's, like if someone got run over by a car and I can lift the car magically. And it's like, how did you do that? Well, it was your sympathetic nervous system kicking in. Your body sends all this blood to your skeletal muscle. That's what allows us to run really fast if we're suddenly being chased by a dog, right? Our body shuts down the blood flow to other parts of like your organs and, like especially your digestive organs. And all that blood goes to your skeletal muscle. So it makes you more powerful. But the problem is if you live in that world all the time, now we start to see issues with falling asleep or digesting food. These are people who are bloated. They feel like, they just are uncomfortable when they're trying to eat. They can't slow down. They can't fall asleep. And so when we get in this hypersympathetic state, we need to shift our body into what we call your parasympathetic state. And that's the place where your body rests, but it's also where your body heals. So when we have an injury, if we don't ever get to this place, our body's just kind of, going through the motions, but we're not actually healing. And so when you do a meditative breath exercise like that, it also helps you to get into this parasympathetic place, which is now, hey, I can rest, I can digest food. Now I feel better. I don't have so many gut issues because now my body's actually able, that's when we eat, we want to sit down, right? Because it helps you get into the parasympathetic state. Right. And so there's a lot of things that'll help you get there, but breathing is one of the easiest, right? Because all you have to do is just take one step back and spend that 30 seconds and you can shift just like that. And so this is something that like massage therapy is great for, right? You get out of massage and you feel like, ooh, should I drive my car right now? I don't know, right? Because you're in this parasympathetic place, your body is not thinking, right? It's relaxed. And so, all of these different therapies that we offer, like, chiropractic helps you get there too. Massage, acupuncture, meditation, yoga practice, all of these different things help you to get into this parasympathetic state, which helps your body just heal and be a healthier version of you.
Well, and then, nowadays with COVID and everything and, people wanting to keep their immune systems up to speed, I feel like this is a topic I don't hear that's talked about very much in terms of keeping your immune system up to speed. And it sounds like just the simple art of doing that, of doing the breathing exercises will help with that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, anytime you can calm your body down, you're kind of decreasing that inflammatory state, right? Because all of this hyperactivity also creates extra inflammation, and inflammation leads to pain. It leads to dysfunction. Your immune system, like you said, isn't going to be able to fight off, these invaders the way that it otherwise would be able to. And so whenever we can get our body into what we call homeostasis, it's a balanced state, everything is functioning as it should. Right? Your body is this self-healing mechanism. If you can keep it there, it's going to do its job. But when we don't stay in this place and all of a sudden we're all over the place and we're stressed out and we're not taking time for ourselves, then it's harder for our body to fight off those invaders. And that's where we start to see, disease, sickness, just overall not feeling well.
Yeah. And then I feel like other things come into play. So when we're living in that super stressed out state and we're never telling our body to relax, Are we craving more sugar? And then, so we're reaching for the sugar. And then that, well, we know what happens, you know, to our bodies after that, really reduces the immune system and, you know, all of the evilness that sugar does to our body. So I feel like it's kind of all related.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, what you put in your body, it really, the output and what your body's capable of doing is affected so much by what you put into it, whether it's dietary, you know, foods, or it's supplements, or it's, you know, beverages, like, you know, sugary, you know, like beverages and like pop and, you know, just juices, things like that. Like it just increases that inflammatory response in your body. And so, you know, the more green foods we can eat, you know, thinking about eating the rainbow, right? And so, and one of the things, if people are really looking at changing their diet, I have a handout, and it has actually, it's a food log, but it's not just like writing down this boring, like, oh, here's what I ate today and blah, blah, blah. It actually has little check marks that says, well, did you eat your colors? And you check off what colors you ate at each meal. And so now, instead of just saying, well, I had, you know, some strawberries with my turkey sandwich with a little bit of lettuce on it, you can say, well, I ate some green, I ate some red. And so then you start to see, okay, well, how much of a rainbow did I eat today? And if you like only checked a few boxes, that's not enough. Right. And so, and that's the powerhouse to really help your body to function its highest, is fueling it in the right way.
And that seems so easy too, when you put it that way, like, okay, just eat the rainbow. Okay. I like your, I'd love to see if you have, or if you want to share and post it to the comments below of this video later, if you want to share that food log that you have, or,
sure,
you know, on your page or whatever it is that you'd like to share it. I'm sure the audience would love that, because anything to make our lives easier as moms, right? Anything to make.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think that'd be great. Another thing that I was hoping that we could touch on today, that I see a lot of on your page, and we've talked about it before in the office, is the quality of supplements. So people can go out and think, oh, I'm doing a really great job. I'm eating a multivitamin and I'm having some vitamin D and this, that, and the other thing, but they might not necessarily be getting what they think because of the quality of the supplements. Can you speak a little bit on that? I'm probably totally butchering it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a really important topic, because, you know, people say, well, I was told I need to go take a B vitamin and some vitamin D because I had some blood work done and my numbers were low. And, you know, blood work is the best way to know what you're deficient in. That's, you know, like if you do some blood work, then we know, hey, here's what we're working with, right? With supplements. And I've had people come in who, you know, maybe their OB or their primary has run them some blood work, and they said, well, hey, I'm supposed to take this and this. And I'm like, well, did they suggest a type or a brand for you to take? Well, no, they just said to go get it. And so I went to Walgreens and I got something off the shelf, and, you know, here it is. Well, the problem is there's no regulation with supplements at all. The FDA doesn't do any kind of regulation. And so I can decide, hey, I'm going to create a vitamin and I'm going to make a label and I'm going to say in this vitamin is X, Y, or Z, but there's no one who's going to hold me accountable for that. And so what happens is people are spending a lot of money on something that either there's nothing actually in there that's helping them. That's, you know, like best case scenario, right? They're just wasting their money. Worst case scenario, there's something in there that they shouldn't be taking. Right. And it's not disclosed, right? Because no one's actually following up to make sure that that's what's in there. And that's what you get with your $5 supplement. You know, and so where we get all of our supplements from, and what I recommend to my patients is a third party. It's basically a dispensary that I've found that I use. It's got a ton of different companies that all use third party testing. So what that means is they go out and they seek out an independent company that has zero relation to their company, and they randomly test it. And they say, hey, is what is on the label actually in this product? And so all the products that are sold in a dispensary, like full script, or, you know, like through like your physician, right? Like if you go see a naturopath, a lot of times they have a lot of great supplements. They're going to have this type of supplement as well, because you can be assured that, hey, I want to make sure that you're getting the highest quality, because number one, I want you to get what you need, but also you need to be able to utilize it. If your body can't recognize what is in the bottle, you can take it, it goes all the way through your system and you don't even absorb it. And so you're really just wasting your money. When we learned X-ray analysis, this is kind of a fun little aside, but when we were in school, we did a lot of like radiology training, and we would see those big giant calcium tablets that our moms were told to take back, you know, in like the 80s and the 90s, like got to take calcium for your bones and everything else. I remember my mom going and buying them. She called them horse pills. They were like massive, but huge. We would see those on x-rays, and it's because they were going through their system and they weren't breaking them down, and then they were being expelled out, and now they're being like collecting in like the waste product. It's crazy. And so there's this coating on some of those that your body just can't break down. And there's a lot of factors that go into it too. If you have enough stomach acid and things like that. And so making sure that your body is getting the right kind of supplement for you, because something that works for a 20-year-old isn't going to work for a 60-year-old, because we don't have as much stomach acid when we're older, right? And so it's really individual. And so that kind of stuff is really a huge passion of mine. And it's something that I've started expanding on more. And I'm going to more as the next kind of year goes by. I'm taking courses right now in functional medicine, which is fascinating. And it's really the future of nutrition, in my opinion. And it's not just supplements, it's just using food as medicine and making sure that your body is getting what it needs to be fueled. So it just goes so well with chiropractic, right? Because I've been working for 15 years on making sure that people's bodies move, and that they can continue doing the activities that they love. But making sure that what's inside is helping that happen is equally as important. So it really, you know, it goes both ways. And so being able to go full circle and offer all of these things for our patients really helps them to see those results so much faster.
I think that's awesome. And you know, I'm a patient of yours, so I know. But for those who are not in the Tempe, Phoenix area, you know, maybe they're in the outskirts, or maybe they're just in, hey, another state. You can still help with supplements and things like that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. That's one of the things I'm going to start doing. Is I'm going to start doing some nutritional work over Zoom, because that way it opens up my ability to help more people. So that's something, my dispensary that I use, I just make recommendations for patients. They are able to order what we talk about themselves. It ships directly to their house. And so no need to be able to come into my office to pick anything up, which is another really huge benefit for it. And so, I'm going to be opening up and working with people all over, because it's such an easy thing to help people make that transition. Sometimes you just need a little nudge and then a little bit of guidance, checking in every once in a while, like, hey, how are we doing with our food? Let's talk about what we're eating. What are we fueling our body with? Right. And, I'm not huge on calorie counting, like that's not my jam, right? Like sometimes people start losing weight when they get healthier, and that's great. My focus isn't weight loss as a specific. My focus is let's get healthy. And a lot of times the weight loss is kind of secondary to that.
That makes a lot of sense. So if somebody were to want to consult with you, get in touch, obviously you have your physical location in Tempe, Arizona, but what's the best way to get in touch with you for those of us mamas that are sort of out a little further?
So if you go onto our Facebook page, you can either send us a message through that, or you can also go onto our website. There's information on there. I actually am in the process right now of revamping my website, which is super exciting. It's live and there's still a few tweaks we need to make to it. But there's a link to my website through that Facebook page as well. But sending a message through the Facebook page is great. And then I can always get in touch with you. And then we can set something up. So happy to do that. And, even other questions, even writing on our page is great, because I'm happy to answer those. If it's something that you're comfortable sharing publicly and it's like, hey, what do you think about this? Like type it up on the page, and then, we'll always answer that. And that's something that either I can answer it, or if it's something, based on like the rehab or the chiropractic side, that my CA Lori is awesome at being able to help me with answering some of that as well. So we can certainly keep up with all of it.
I love that, because then it creates kind of a little forum. So, other people might also have the same question, and then all of a sudden they get involved in the conversation. So I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah. Well, and as I see things too, if I see kind of a common trend, I'm going to start doing some more blogs on my website as well. And so as I see like a few questions that are in like the same area, I'll definitely try to write something up so I can have like a really nice explanation for everybody on that too.
Oh, awesome. I love it. All right, Dr. Bobbie. Well, it's been really awesome getting to know a few of the things I didn't quite know about, even though I do know you and I do see you and I love going to your office, but it's always nice to talk with you, get to visit a little bit and learn some more. You are a wealth of knowledge. Every time I'm in there, I swear we talk about something different. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
And I hope that you have an awesome day.
Thank you so much. It was great to see you.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.